All right. And to close out Friday night, the Death Star Dubs are back. Steph Curry coming off the bench, Klay Thompson lighting it up, Draymond facilitating. But the story of this one is 30 from Jordan Poole, man. G Leaguer last year, now maybe most improved player, has been phenomenal all season, and you think the spotlight's going to scare you in game one of the playoffs against the reigning MVP, maybe back-to-back MVP, and he just cooked, pulling out all the moves, not afraid to slash and take it to the rim. That's the thing. Jokic, great player, not necessarily the rim protector that puts the fear of God in you. And Jordan Poole was attacking and met when you have all sorts of spacing on this Warriors roster, it allows a guy like that to take it to the cup. And he had a couple of heat checks, couple deep threes, really, really great stuff from Jordan. And that's funny because Kuminga and Wiseman were supposed to be these two top 10 picks that the Warriors had as their guys that they were going to keep the run going, but ends up being their I think it was the 30th pick way back a couple years ago out of Michigan that ends up developing into maybe the leader of this team for the next 10 years. Awesome to see from Poole. And I guess that's going to be my big game one overreaction is we saw it all year from him, but to do it on the playoffs now in game one like that, special stuff.
And stylistically, guys like Kuminga, guys like Wiseman drafted to win now complement the strengths that this Warriors team already has. Whereas Poole looking like a carbon copy of Steph Curry last night, which gives Steve Kerr his own set of headaches about how to put this lineup and make it work offensively and defensively together, particularly defensively. But at the same time, that's a pretty good problem to have when you go 9 for 13 for 30 points and 5 from 7. Like you said, some ridiculous heat check shots from depth. I mean, we know this Nuggets team is going to do its best defensively, but it's going to struggle. There's going to be holes to take advantage of. And like you said, the Death Star Dubs, I mean, Draymond, 9 assists, fantastic. Klay Thompson. We talk often about these players who are, it's like, oh, what a miracle. They're healthy just in time for playoffs. They're ready to go just for playoffs. But with Klay, we've seen the benefit of getting healthy well before playoffs, having the time to work yourself back up into your game. And he's at a point that is as much, I think, as you could hope for as Warriors fan. The 3-point shooting really solid, just another set like lethal weapon for this team. That the offense was just nonstop, and on the other end, it was just, can Jokic single-handedly keep up with this offense? And for the first half, he did, and it was quite entertaining. He seemed unstoppable, but as we got into the third quarter, as the minutes ran up, as they just punished him on his own defensive end, made him run, made him go into bodies, the efficiency started to drop. The balls stopped falling quite the same way. The playmaking was never crazy on display that night. They did a good job having hands in the passing lanes, not giving anything too easy there, not being too obvious with their double teams. They actually held off on the double teams quite a lot. A lot of playoff basketball, it seems like it's been double team their best player from the start. But I found it pretty interesting. The Nuggets, I think Jokic's just such a fantastic passer that makes it too easy for him. They want to make him sweat for his first 10, for his first 15 points before they really start making him think that double team game. And just the score, I guess, 3-6, 16-point win, but this one was never really in question from about 5 minutes into the third quarter. And we knew this Nuggets team was weak, missing some key pieces. Jokic has to put the mountain on his back, the world on his back and climb the mountain. On take one, that's looking like a pretty impossible task against this loaded an offense. It's just too much for one guy to match.
Will we see Jamal Murray?
I don't,
Doubt it.
but they're talking about mental hurdles too, which
Yeah.
it's not like oh, the doctor just needs to clear me and I'll be good to go. And this is the team, this is the building he got the injury in. I think it's a big ask to see him and see him at like difference making contribution levels.
So then it's tough. The matchup that the Nuggets wanted offensively, of course, is the Jokic, because he's going to have his way against the lack of size of Golden State. But what a lot of people didn't factor into in this series is this is not a team that runs pick and roll where Jokic can sit and play in that paint and hedge and drop down. He's got to chase guys all the way around because of their free flowing offense and the cutting and the perimeter centric movement that he's going to have to close out on shooters and then retreat to someone cutting backdoor. So a lot more energy expended on the defensive end than maybe some of the other teams that they would have gone up against. And I think Denver's in trouble big time.
Yeah, I think he'll steal 1 or 2 games, like a 40-point performance. Maybe they force Draymond to take a lot of threes and he has an off night, but it's going to be hard to take 4.